Welcome back to Backroom Convos. I'm your host with the most, the Super F that you already put, aka Shoot Your Short, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Cairo. Listen, if you are a fan of sports, stay tuned because you might like what we cooking. I'm your host with the most. We have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to unpack. This morning when I woke up, Vladimir Putin all over my timeline. And given that I haven't been releasing episode for the past, 2 days? Didn't release episodes for the past 2 days. I know it's still a road to 100 episodes, it's still a road to 100 episodes. And, I've been busy personally, life, it throws you off. And, I'm not making any excuses, But yeah, man, I want us to talk about the Vladimir Putin. We're going to talk about Beyonce's new haircare line. Is it haircare line? Do we call it haircare line? Even if it's like hair shandies? I don't know. But Beyonce's haircare shandies. We'll just say that. And how Trevor Noah got involved in that. Talk about the Bafana situation and them not making past the semi-finals, but they really played, man. Yeah, let's get on to it, Bill. So the song of the day. Why not the album of the day? So I'd rather say would see the album of the day as opposed to saying the song of the day, because technically I don't if I was to be technical, I didn't put in enough effort to get in the numbers of the Spotify, as I always do. If you listen to the podcast, you'd know there's a pattern that we follow here at Backroom Convos of the number sequence, the numbers, how we break them down and how listenership works, and blah, blah, blah. We do have those, but in this episode we don't have those. I didn't have those. So yeah, I moved from where I was before. I've moved 2024, new place, new scenery, but it's still in the same area though. Yeah, I'm still pushing. So the album of the day is Kurula, which means peace in English. So, I've been talking about this album for the past, I don't remember how long, for the past 6, it's not 6, it's for the past 3-4 months. The album is pretty much amazing. We were planning to have, for those of you who remember, we were planning to have a listening session where we break down the album. And I did say, I am going to give myself time to listen to the entire album. And currently I was inspired by someone, by Ntombi. So there's a beautiful lady by the name of Unomfondo, and she was listening to, I think, Amalobolo, which is a song that's a part of Kurula, So I was like, damn, I remember that I was supposed to be listening exclusive. I was supposed to be listening to this album, after the hype, and I haven't got time to listen to it. And yesterday, as I was doing some of the things that I was meant to do for yesterday, I decided to pop the album. Ash, bro, I Am a Lobolo is something else, bro. I think that song, Amalobolo, is the song for me in that album. I'm sorry, I haven't listened to the entire album. I could say I'm still 10% in the album, but Amalobolo, dog, I love that song. And for those of you, please clarify to me, because I've seen Kelvin Moore, I've seen Bawala M, of which they've been together for the longest time. For the entire time I've known them, they've always been together. Even when I went to look at them, I think last year, for the first time playing live in Zone 6, and Kelvin Moore was actually sitting at the entrance where they take tickets. He was looking at, and I looked at him, he looked at me, and I think, because we're also from the same, for people who don't know, me and Kevin Momo are from literally the same hood. So for people who don't know, so I didn't know honestly, I didn't know who Kevin Momo was at the time. And this is after private school began, and I'm is it Ivy League or private school? I think private school, because I've seen a lot of people who've been private school. I think shout out to Stretcho and Paul from Protea Glen. Shout out to, a lot of people in Soweto, who were putting on the album with your private school pianist and shit. And most people who are fans of you, they will push you, believe in me, they will push you, especially if you're from the hood, right? So if you are from the hood, okay, my hood, when I've seen a pattern. This is let me just break this down. I think people in my hood, when you are good at what you do, you'll have support, regardless of who you are, color of your skin. If you are that good, you will get backing from people, and especially if whatever you are doing resonates or is relatable to the next person within the hood. My brother, you have a fan base. And I'll give you perfect examples of this. In the hood, where I come from, Soweto, shout out to Msotra. I'm from, Kansas, White City, Mfulo, Central. So you would know, Uguti, like, there's a guy called Shakes. There's a guy called Opro. There's a guy called, MTN, MTN. So, like, you'd find that there's those people, guys, who are very good. And, like, now I think Shakes is still playing for Joe Moore. And I think Pro is playing somewhere in the NFT. And until MTN is in Kaiser Chiefs. Is it like the NFT Kaiser Chiefs, if I'm not mistaken? And a lot of the videos that you see in the internet, I guarantee you, Shakes is a part of that. Pro is a part of those videos. M10 is a part of those videos. I forgot the other guy. So even Kwame is not from my hood. I think he's from Wokiwat, that side, what Davidson, Moprakpan, he's from that side. Because if you listen to or watch the LX games, I forgot what they call them. The LX games, that's where everybody meets to watch soccer games, and that's where you get to see like this is getting massive support from the hood. And like, it's because of showboating. So look at the kid, like there's just the culture around it. I think even with more him getting the support, people knowing where he's from, and it's just, I wanted to say one of the bombastic ways, but I'm like, I'm not sure if it's the right way. But he got support from the hood, and that just became a domino effect, like from the hood, from his hood. When the hood said, Mo is the one, the so-and-so said Mo is the one, and we didn't back down, and everybody in like different hoods started like catching up for MFR. Which are the founders of Beyonce, apparently. I don't know, don't count for me for that. They started catching on and that, and everybody started. And I do agree, I do concur with what Saul was saying on podcast and shit, saying we would see more as a cult following. That's true, my nigga. And I'll give you the numbers if you don't believe me. So Kurula, as of current, it's sitting on 11 million and going north of that now. And daily listens, it's 179,708. 179,700. Do I call it? 179,000. Let's just leave it at that. So yeah, man, I just wanted to highlight. I wanted just to speak about that and put it on, on the forefront of everything that we are talking about, and like actually appreciate the song Amalobola, and having a song, or having, I would have loved to have the Amalobola as the song of the day, but I don't know the numbers, as I said, and I had to record, so I just had to like take the stats that I have and put it out there and make that work for this episode, you know what I mean? So I do apologize for that, and I also do apologize for the fact that, I was supposed to release an episode 2 days back. I didn't release that. I had content planned, I didn't release that, So Bafana played, I think it's a day or two back, I was supposed to record the same day. I think Bafana was playing, and today I woke up to put it. I think the best place to start is Bafana. Let's just give them flowers before. I think I want to give them flowers. From the first match, I know Pesita was being bashed for the first game they played, and they were being bashed, and they came out the second game, the goalkeeper, Wayne Williams got flowers for his goalkeeping, saving 4 penalties, and which led on to us winning the match, So the final, the not the semi-final that we went to, we didn't pull up. We lost on the penalties. And if we get to sit and look at all the Afcon games that we've played, I agree with the person who was saying, Guti, that's the best we have played so far, and I agree with that, even though I didn't watch. So I just agree with people, but I didn't watch it for sure. I don't know what's happening, because I did say to you guys, Guti, I'm very busy, but I do like time and again watch your comments when it comes to like sports or everything trendy on social media. I was looking at it and I'm like, oh, okay, this is good. And I was looking, I think when in passing, when I was like, oh, okay, this is actually happening, the touches are being made. And I even watched some stats at some time. I was like watching some stats and I'm like, ooh, the ball passes, the ball possession, the red cards, we were looking good on paper. Like, honestly, we were looking good. And it was like, oh, like, I really enjoyed watching that. As much as, like, I wanted to win the cup or win whatever, but at the same time, I'm, like, super grateful for the fact that, bro, like, we've played. And Samuel Eto'o, he must take back his words, because he had some pretty nasty things to say about us. Or he was, like, shaming us with it. South Africa has one of the top players. It's like saying a lot of the things. I don't like misrepresent what he was saying, but he was saying something along those lines. It was like, oh, Edo, you must relax, chief. You must relax. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. I think that's all I had to say about Bafana. They had a great run. As much as we all South Africans wanted to be a part of that, but now we can't, but we are watching from the sideline. And every South African man now is talking about the Cape Verde women. I didn't watch the men, so now I feel like I've missed out, because I've seen pictures, I've seen snaps here and there in TikTok, in Twitter, people talking about the Cape Verde women. It's like, oh, like those women are fine, and I do also agree with the people who are like, oh, the Cape Verde women are fine, and I do agree with that. And at the same time, I'm like, yeah, but the Cape Verde women, they look like our South African colors. They look like our South African colors, honestly. They look like colors. If you were to now take a Cape Verde woman, blindfold the South African men, don't tell them Vuku to Pumapi, just have her stand there and take out the blindfold on that man's eyes. They will tell you for sure, but this woman, it's either colored or Cape Verde, because like it's trending. But I think the best guess would be a colored. Or anyone that didn't watch the match, they'll tell you she looks colored, and they look colored to me. I don't want to say average colored, because I saw that comment that said average colored. I just say colored, so shout out to them, Vladimir Putin, I think, let's talk about it, I think the interview that Vladimir Putin was having recently, but I think before we get to that, let me talk about Trevor Noah. We'll just end the pod with the Vladimir Putin situation. We'll end the podcast with that. So, Beyonce, obviously, I didn't know that she had a hairline, is a haircare line coming out soon, probably next month. From what I've seen in the comment section, I've seen that, and Trevor was speaking on it for free. He was speaking on it for free. I'm not a Trevor hater. I'm not hating on him. Kudos. He's doing a lot. Shout out to him for hosting the Grammys and killing the job. And a lot of people were happy with how he represented the Grammys, because of the drama the Grammys has been having like for the past couple of years before Trevor came through, and people were happy with how he was doing that, and were like, yo, we wish he could host the Grammys forever, but I'm giving him his flowers. And I also saw the Monique interview talking about Trevor Noah, talking about Kevin Hart. I also want to talk about that as well. So yeah, let's talk about Trevor. He was talking about how he, the place, the hairstylist, his hairstylist, they didn't have a place to cut his hair. Beyonce pulled through and told them, go to this pin location, they will sort you out, your hair, everything, and they ended up giving him a secret product which ended up being promo for the same product that Beyonce is having, that Beyonce has, and it's coming out next month. And I'm like, how Trevor 53 million, is it 53 or 54 million or 30 million, whatever that is, Beyonce is getting a free promo. Honestly, I wouldn't even mind if it was the case. You could see like Trevor did that for Beyonce. Like, what? Oh, who says no to Beyonce? I'm like, what? The Queen? What? Nobody says no to the Queen. But I was like, well, I think he knew how to represent his thoughts, and so even like people who want to poke holes at it to say, Trevor did a promotion for free to Beyonce, it's his brand at the end of the day, whatever association. Like, if Trevor is to associate himself with Beyonce, bro, like, you know, it's a good brand collaboration, it's healthy, you know, Beyonce is a big name, you know, as opposed to like, you know, South Africa, like anything you put Beyonce besides, it's great, like, you know, because of how great she is, of how perfection she is. And I'm saying this because I also am a big fan of Beyonce, so that also comes from that. Would be like, I do know and I've seen the resonance tour in the documentary. I haven't looked at it, and you know, people were critiquing Blue, and you know, she went out to actually improve on her performances. And like, throughout this entire thing, for those of you, please comment in the comment section, and please do not forget to like, follow, to get a notification for each and every time we drop a new episode. For those of you who know something that I don't know about Blue Ivy Beyonce, the Cousins family altogether, does Blue go to school, or is she being homeschooled? Like, I just want to know that, because the reason I'm asking, there was a time when Beyonce, Jay-Z were house hunting or house hunting, and paparazzi was all over them, or the media was all over them. And when they were like looking for houses in, you know, LA, is it LA or Miami? And because they wanted to be closer to Blue School. And you know, when I saw the resonance tour, and I was like, well, is she being homeschooled now? Like, what's the situation? You know, I just want to know. That's the question that just popped into my mind at the moment, at this moment, you know. So yeah, do let me know in the comment section, and please do not forget to follow, like, and comment to get a notification for each and every time we drop a new episode. I'm your host at the most, Lesego M, Daddy One Report, aka Shit Short, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Kyle. Let's meet after the break. Cheers. Welcome back to Backroom Convos. I'm your host at the most, Lesego M, Daddy One Report, aka Shit Short, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Kyle. Listen, if you are afraid of this sport, stay tuned, because you might like what we're coding. The song of the day is I'm a Love from the album called Kurula, which means peace in English, and currently sits at 11 million. That's the album, and currently has 179 listens. North of that, about to hit 180,000 listens. That's amazing for Kelvin Momo. For those of you who just joined us, I had a huge like 17 minute breakdown on how I have listened to the album, and I haven't finished the album. I'm 10 minutes in, and I was inspired to listen to the album because of the lady that, you know, I found interesting, and I was like, it's interesting that this lady's listening to Kelvin Momo. You know, so that was the entire situation at the Kelvin Momo album. How's your morning? Do let me know in the comment section. I'm your host with the most, Lesego M, Daddy One Report, aka Future Shot, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Cairo. Please do not forget to follow, like, and comment, to leave a comment, and get a notification for each and every time we drop a new episode. Before we went over the break, we were talking about Bafana Bafana. We spoke about the Trevor Noah situation with Beyonce's new Haircare line that's coming out probably next month, according to what you were saying on the comment section. And yeah, man, let's talk about it. We are supposed to talk. I want to talk about the interview with Monique on Club Shay Shay. regarding Kevin Hart and co-signing what Cat Williams was saying on that podcast with Club Shay Shay. And I want to speak about branding, and for Club Shay Shay podcast, I want to talk about that as well. And finally talk about Vladimir, is it Vladimir Putin? There's a line by Drake. He was like, about Putin. He's like, who's Putin? Like he was saying something about like, everybody's rushing. We someday wanna be Russian. Someday wanna be Russian. So we put in something, but nobody is Russian. But yeah, like something along those lines. I don't remember the song. If you do remember the song, please do let me know in the comment section. I just hate the silent, awkward silence between when I'm thinking and like the idea of like knowing that you're listening to me, and I'm like thinking, I hate this space. I just need to be comfortable with it, and I'm aware of it. So yeah. So I'll just try maybe one day find the song, and it won't be something that's immediate because it's not that of importance, of any importance. So yeah, we did speak about Beyonce's Hairline. What's the name of the hairline? I don't know if there's anyone in the comment section who knows what the name of the hairline is. I'm so sorry for butchering that. So Club Shay Shay, for sure. Monique was there at the interview. I think the interview was amazing. I didn't listen, I didn't watch the interview. He spoke about Kevin Hart, and he was co-signing, and he also like gave Kevin Hart his flowers, and he was like, yo, Kevin Hart was saying it. And like, I want to say this before I say it, like I dive into the story. I say this because I think sometimes Kevin Hart might have never said what Monique things Kevin Hart said, because it came from a third person or third party, not from Kevin Hart's mouth. And I think sometimes when you are a brand manager or you're an artist manager, I think you do your best to protect the brand. Like, for you to hit the next milestone, you don't need to be associated with A, B, and C. The situation was, Monique, there was a time in her life where she didn't have things figured out. Kevin was in the position to help. He did. And he was like, yo, Monique, because I think there was a time when Monique was in the Kevin Hart show, and they were chopping it up to say, you are my mother, you like my sister, you are like my boom, 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 and he did tell Monique, like, anything you need, just shout, I'll be there for you. And if there's any movie that you wanna do, I'll be there to co-sign it, executive produce it with you, So that happened, and there was a point that Kevin gave Monique money, and Monique, when she got back on her feet, they signed the check back to him and say, like, yeah, we're grateful for the check that you signed for us. This is the money that you borrowed us with some interest on top of it, And I think that's when Monique got the gig with 50 on Power, because Monique was playing, I think she was playing someone on Power, and a truck mama or something on Power, and she had to be shipped out to a different place because, there was like that part of Power where Monique was a part of. I think when he got that job, he started like paying Kevin back. And there was a show that they were planning to bring back, the Monique show, and they were like, Kevin was like, yo, like, what's popping? Like, you're so good. When she was giving Kevin Hart back the money, and they were like, yo, like, everything is fine, it's coming, we are working on like the show, reviving it or bringing it back to life. And Kevin was like, yeah, man, just tell me what you need, I'll sort you out, just sort you out. If you need co-sign, you need an executive producer, I will be there, I'll be that person for you. Monique is like, clean, according to her. She's like, clean, dog. Like, I'll go back to their offices there and tell them, actually, Kevin is part of this. And like, oh, great, Kevin is a part of this. This is a huge, it's a huge thing for you. Kevin is like an amazing or a great entertainer, or like the most relevant entertainer of this time, They were like, oh, okay, co-sign from that. We'll just run it out, they started going back. When they went back, a couple of months or a couple of weeks later, the person they were talking to about Kevin Hart being the possible co-sign or the co-sign to that, according to Monique, this is not from me, according to Monique, and I might be paraphrasing and forgive me for that. According to Monique, so she comes back and says, I don't know if it's a he or she, they come back and say, Uguti, no, Kevin Hart, we spoke to him now, but he doesn't co-sign what you were saying. And he's like, what? Why is he not co-signing what we are saying? Because we were speaking to him. And it's like, no, we spoke to Kevin Hart's manager, A, B, and C. That's the name, And when that happened, everybody was like, oh, snap. They spoke to Kevin, and Kevin, seen that. It's like technically co-signing what Kek was saying. And these people, I don't remember which part of it, but I'm just saying, Guti. It sounded like a co-sign from whatever the Cat William was saying about Kevin Hart. Monique was co-signing it with her story, but like, conclude as you may, this is what happened between me and this man. And and sometimes maybe Kevin might not have been the person that says no to Monique, or there was a third party involved. I think it was proper for her to say, this got declined because they say you said A, B, and C. Please clarify this for us so we know. Is it you? Is it the manager? And how do we work around that? If there's people who have to be fired, let's do that, And I felt, I don't know if he did go out and speak to Monique again after that entire ordeal or situation or saga. I don't know if he went back to talk to it. And hopefully Kevin Hart reaches out and, clean the slate, Because a lot has been said on Club Shay Shay, and I think with all the heavy hitters, the the people that are in the industry who are in the forefront, it's people that are in the forefront of comedy, you can't name a top 10 and not name Cat William, you know what I mean? So he's one of the people that are forward, people who are informed, and I did break down the Big Mama house, and how the scat is, wanting the kid who was playing the son of Big Mama, so he's like, the scat was a cast, boom, A, B, and C, and Kek told me A, B, and C, and, and this is this will be an integration between what I'm saying about, media, which media was saying this Cake is crazy, and this is US media and how they control it. At same thing that Vladimir Putin was saying, US is controlling the media, of the world, and even some in Europe, So it's very easy for them to control the narrative with the media platforms that they own. It's very easy to control the narrative. And he was like, yeah, that's what's happening. And I feel like with even the Monique situation, that's what's happening. That with the Cake situation, that's what's happening. It's happening. And to see people like Monique come to the platform and speak their truth and say, this happened, Cake is not crazy, just having a co-sign of nothing but this is my story, and if it co-signs with them, so be it, I'm not here to bash him, I'm just here to speak the truth, or out of all honesty, this man did me bad. This is just the truth. I don't have anything, animosity against him, but this is what happened, and I think now Club Shay Shay is amazing, because I did say we were going to speak about branding. It seems like a platform, when you have the diary of a CEO, which interviews one of the greatest minds within every industry, or in every industry, you get those in the sessions, the business, the entrepreneurs, you get that podcast from, diary of the CEO, you get that, right? So there's podcasts like McG who interview people to ask them fun questions to have fun. At Club Shay Shay is also I think the trajectory it is taking in the United States. It's then where people who want to defend themselves, I know what he said, I'll come to the platform and rectify, because every other thing that was being quoted from the same show. He said this when he came to the platform. He said this about me, and I'm Cake, and I don't know what he's talking about. like it's cementing its path as a platform where people can come and rectify some of the wrong things that are being said about them to change their narrative to their advantage. Like I felt it, and I was like, I need to look at this interview, and please do also like watch that interview and do let me know what you think about it. Please do not forget to follow, like, and comment, and leave a comment to get a notification for each and every time we drop a new episode. I'm your host with the most, Lesego M 2024, aka Future Short, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like I. So as I said, with Vladimir Putin was all over my feed this morning when I was opening my phone. And I'm like, what's going on? Is someone, and there's voiceovers in English, interpreting what, Vladimir Putin was saying, actually co-signing the media shanties that's going on with the US is owning the media, so it's easier for them to like manipulate or drive the narrative about whatever thing they want you to know as an average person, So he was saying that, and like, I can't help but think about why did the interview happen. Like, I'm just, I don't know, like, I just want to know why, and someone was saying like the guy who was interviewing, he was actually arguing with Vladimir Putin, and they're like, yo, this guy is balls, he's arguing with Putin. Putin is not just any person, so it's like, yo, this guy is interviewing Putin. And like, I've never seen any other interview outside of the people of Russia, or the people who are interviewing him from the same place. Seems like, this is one of a kind, the interview, and how long it has been planned. And I'm like, like, how do you plan? Like, do you plan the interview 3 months, 4 months, 6 months with Putin? Because he did mention the guy was interviewing Putin. It's been a month since they've been planning the interview, like necessary precautions to take care of Putin. Nobody gets offended, and I get my facts right, A, B, and C, that was happening. And I think that's how it ended up on my feed after the interview, after the website, because even the person who's telling the story is not a part of that, US media. He is like independent media. If you want to check out that episode, it's available on his website. I just don't have the name of the website, and when I do, I will link it in the comment section. Please do not forget to follow, like, and comment to get a notification for each and every time we drop a new episode. The book of the day is Hidden Potential by Adam Grant, and currently sits at 4.1 out of 5 on Goodreads. So that's an amazing stat. I didn't see any stats from Google and other platforms where you can rate the book, So the book was released it was released on the 24th of October 2023 last year. So it's still fairly a new book. Do let me know what you think about the book. I'm your host at the most, Lesego M 2024, aka Future Short. And maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Kyron. Let's meet later on. Cheers.